Hi, my name is Joshua Cryer, co-owner of Do Work LLC and Upcycle Me LLC. Go inside. All right, here we go.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
So the first thing I want to point out, it may seem small and you may not be able to see the scale here, but we designed this whole project to have 36-inch door openings. And so that's what this is here. The idea is when we're bringing in a refrigerator, furniture straight up the steps, we don't want to be scratching up the door frame itself, and surely not the brand new appliances that we're bringing in. Additionally, when the Airbnb comes with their luggage, right? Say for instance, my granddad, he likes to pack a lot. When he comes through the doorway, there's enough a door opening to go straight up the steps and not be scratching up the wall, you know, taking the paint with the rollers on the suitcase. Another thing I want to point out is our utility room. So you're in the garage. I don't know if you can see the size of the space, but this is built out for a 4-car garage, and I actually built it to fit four Jeeps. I drive a 1998 Jeep Cherokee, and 4 of those will easily fit in here, which means I shouldn't have any issues getting my trailers pulled in if my wife allows me to buy a boat later on down the road. You guys remember, we're in Indiana, Fort Wayne. So getting up to the lake at some point in the future, we got the space to grow and to do that. So here's the utility room. In this room, it's not that big, but it's big enough to get the water heater in, whether we decide to go with on-demand water heater or a tank water heater. We have space for our water quality system, which will filter the water for the entire house. We also have room for a pool that we're thinking about putting in, not immediately, because guys, remember, we're doing this project out of pocket. So literally we go out, whatever we earn, whatever we fish for and bring it back home, we're using that money and we're injecting it directly into this project. And so the pool won't be built on day one, probably not in year 1 or year 2 or year 3, but this utility room has been sized so that we can pull that pool equipment into this space. So all the utilities, water related utilities, will be housed in this room here. And the project has been designed to have 2 electrical panels, a 200 amp panel for the garage space, and ultimately a main feed for the Airbnb, and a 100 amp panel for the Airbnb in and of itself. I'm going to be excited to share that electrical installation with you guys in a future video, so be sure to tune in. While I'm thinking about it, before we go upstairs, one thing that I wanted to point out, you could argue that this garage is over-designed, overbuilt, but I feel like, and not even as an engineer, just as a person who sees himself working in this garage for the next 20, 30 years, if it's the Lord's will, I wanted something that was going to stand the test of time. So very minor modifications to the design, such as, I'm just gonna remove some scrap wood here. This curb that you see here, this 4-inch curb, is where the entire building sits. So this seal plate is 4 inches off of the floor itself. So imagine we're in here and, you know, I'm changing out transmission lines, and I got, you know, transmission fluid splashing. Let's say I didn't prepare ahead of time and I just get caught in a pinch and I got fluid all over the place. The last place I want it is on my drywall. And I don't want the drywall sucking it up and then the stains running up the wall itself. And so having the walls off the floor, critical. Something else I wanted to point out is the seal plate itself. I mean, all builders are gonna know this. You're putting pressure treated wood down as your seal plate. Back in the day, it was very common to put untreated wood in some installations, you'd put untreated wood down, and that can cause a problem over the life of the building itself. Two more things. This is 2x6 construction. And so why is that important? One, when we go to do the spray foam, the R value we're gonna be able to get on these walls will be about 21. That's really, really good in terms of getting the heat in the building, keeping the heat in, or when you go to cool it in the summertime, you want to be efficient around how you utilize energy. And so 2x6 construction, last thing on the walls is the finger joint. When I started this, I had no idea that there was a finger joint option out there. I'm more used to using conventional wood. This is called SPF. And so it's just, you know, they cut the tree down and they run it through the mill. This here is a 2x6. And so this is what I'm used to installing, whether you're building furniture or framing up a wall. It's very, very traditional, conventional building supply. But the finger joint, what an awesome product. So this board is an engineering board. You can see the finger joints here. Why buy it? Why spend the extra $2 or $3 per board on a project? Because of how straight they are. And so when you buy lumber, I'm just gonna use this as an example. When you go to the big box store and you buy your lumber, you take it off the rack, first thing you're gonna do is hold it here, look straight down the board, and you're trying to figure out how straight the board is. No board is gonna be perfectly straight, but there's material out there, and the guys and gals will know that when you look down the board, it will be twisted. And so if you install 20 of these, you know, going straight that way and straight that way, and you go to put drywall up against it, you'll notice those same bows in your wall. So the finger joint allows for you to install a straighter wall. Nothing's 100% true, but for a couple extra bucks per board, it was worth the investment. The last thing I'll talk about on this first floor, if you look up, we decided to go with a truss design. So we worked with a truss designer. Was it a little more expensive than going with the I-beam installation? Of course, but here are the trade-offs. When we go to install our utilities, for example, we're running 12.2 for our outlets, or we're running 14.2 for our lighting package. When we go to install our plumbing, whether it's the 4-inch drain that's gonna go straight up and hit the toilet, or if we decide in a future time to install a utility sink in another spot within the garage, it's gonna be a lot easier to run through the webs in that truss system than it ever would be to drill holes through every single I-beam. And so did we pay a premium up front? We did, but we felt like it was worth it to be more efficient when we go to do the installation of the utilities that's gonna be hidden behind the walls. So something else I want to point out. Again, some of this stuff that I'm talking about is going to be obvious for the developer that's been doing this for the last 15, 20 years. But if you're new to the game, like I am, right? I spent 20 years as an electrical engineer. You don't know everything. You're learning stuff as you go. So here's something else I want to point out. When you go to do your garage floor design, consider putting drains in the floor. For some builds, it might be common, it might be obvious to folks that have been doing this forever to most definitely put the drains in the floor. It was brought to my attention. It was a recommendation by our plumber to install a drain that would specifically allow for rainwater runoff. If you decide you want to wash the car inside the building, if you have snow on the top of your Jeep and that stuff is gonna melt over the next 2 or 3 days, it's gonna hit the floor. Last place you want it doing is sitting on your concrete floor. This is 6 inches worth of concrete. There's a concrete shortage right now. It was a lot of work to get this concrete in here. So the last thing you wanna have happen is 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, your concrete is starting to splinter, crack. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. And so these two drains that you see here, they run out the side of the building. They're not tapped into the sewer line. So if we have a major spill here, that stuff's not going directly into the environment. There's a way for us to capture it right outside the building and dispose of any liquids in a safe way. The key is to think about or consider putting floor drains in your design. We have an additional floor drain in the utility room that would capture any water that would come from, pipes freezing. God forbid that would happen. That water would go directly into that drain and then down the sewer. So these sewers, they're separate. Consider including them on your design. So now I'm going to take you guys to the second floor, and we'll point out some key features of this design. Now, here's one of the really cool things about living in Fort Wayne. The West Central neighborhood has done an amazing job at establishing an Airbnb community. It's competitively priced in terms of how much you're going to pay per night. The workmanship, the craftsmanship that has gone into a lot of those builds is top notch. And so the Airbnb market is very competitive in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we wanted to develop a project that would be not just at par with what's going on in the West Central neighborhood. We want to lead the market.
Nice.
And so for those of you that are going to watch this video in the future, what you're seeing here is a very intentional design for someone who's traveling into the city, whether you're going to be here for 2 or 3 days because you're participating in the wedding, you just met your bride's family and you guys are coming in to get fitted for a dress, or if you're here for a graduation party, you're going to have ample amount of space to relax, to study if you're coming into the city to do that. If you are a professional and you're coming into the city, you're going to be here for the next 2 or 3 months. If you decide to pick our Airbnb, remember, you have an ample bathroom, walk-in shower, the vanity is sized appropriately, you got a water closet, stackable washer and dryer. The kitchen in and of itself, oh my God, to die for. I can't wait till you guys see the final product with the hood and the backsplash and the island. My wife is on design. I'm just the guy, doing all the, the hands-on work, right? For lack of a better term. But the design that my wife has worked on for this project, it is very intentional. And I'll put it like this. Come check us out. What I want to do is I want to take you guys into the master bedroom real quick. Remember, the doorways, they're designed to be as wide as we can get them. Make it very comfortable, easy for people to get in and out. Here in the master bedroom, this room is almost 12 by 12, so it's 144 square feet, somewhere about there. You got the master closet, the window package. Remember, I told you guys that the windows are on back order. The lead time is kind of extensive, but when these windows go in, oh my God, it's going to be beautiful. And so you have big open vaulted ceilings throughout the building with the natural light that's flooding in from the front and the back side. We hope that that our guests just feel at home. Our desire is that people come in and they walk away with ideas for their own personal design. And so you're looking at it on the front end. This is what it looks like. So all finger joint design throughout. That's what our 2x4s and 2x6s are. Like I mentioned before, that's going to give us the straightest wall that you can get. You see OSB on the floor. By God's grace, we're able to get our lumber package at a competitive rate. It's probably another tool and tip that I would recommend. Ensure that you're getting at least 3 bids on your lumber package. Lumber right now, this is 2022, we're at the end of 2022. Lumber, the price of lumber is so volatile. Your lumber package can literally swing by $10,000. So it is in your best interest to get 3 competitive bids and make sure you source your lumber from a place that can get it to you within 2 to 3 days. And they're sending you straight material that doesn't have a whole lot of knots in it. And the price has to be right. We save $5,000 on this project by simply placing phone calls and competitively bidding lumber suppliers here in the city of Fort Wayne. So be sure to do your homework. Second bedroom, this only has 2 bedrooms. It's roughly 1,100 square feet, 1095, somewhere in there. This is the second bedroom. It's close to the same size as the master bedroom. This one is about 12 by 11. This is a nice size room. So the idea is when our guests come, if they have kids or if they have parents that are coming, again, if you're planning for a wedding, you need the space. And so you guys will see what the final design looks like. But here at the ground level, we ensured that we had enough elbow room to get it in, to get it done. Just wanted to take you guys through the bathroom real quick. Now, you got to use your imagination to kind of, figure out what it's going to look like when everything is installed. So here to the right, or moving south in the building, this is the shower. I'm standing in the shower. I'm about 5'6" on a good day, maybe 5'7" with these boots. So you can see my wingspan. Vaulted ceiling, so they're gonna go all the way up. You're gonna have USB, Bluetooth. You're gonna have Bluetooth audio here in the space, and so you can just imagine taking a shower, having jets all over the place, listening to your favorite tunes, and really enjoying taking a shower here. If you flip the camera around when you come to brush your teeth, whether or not you and the missus or you and your baby girl are in the bathroom getting ready together, there is enough space to stand in front of the vanity and get prepared for your day. We got a pocket closet. That's what this space is here. So in some countries, they call it a water closet. So the idea here is when you're going to use the restroom, you got some privacy. You shut the door, there'll be an exhaust fan in here as well. You step in. Here's the water closet, the toilet, the inodoro, whatever people call it. Toilet goes here, and the washer and dryer, stackable washer and dryer go in this space. In addition to the exhaust fans, baseboard heat, we want this space to be as comfortable as possible. We also have some natural light coming in this awning window. So these are all things that you might consider when you go to do your design for a car garage in your Airbnb or your in-law suite or simply a carriage house. When you go to do yours, take these things into consideration. I'm getting to the windows. I'm gonna leave those for last. I'm super excited about what we've done over here, but this is the kitchen. And so you gotta imagine that you just got off the plane, you flew into Fort Wayne International, or you flew into O'Hare, you rented a car, and you've driven down to Fort Wayne, and you dropped all your luggage out there in the main space, and you're here in the kitchen, right? So the sink is here. You're looking out in the yard, you see this beautiful modern farmhouse, you see the swimming pool, you're washing your hands, washing dishes. The idea is just to be at peace, relaxed. And so you got the kitchen that allows you to do that. The hood goes here with the oven, refrigerator, and then we want for people to be a part of the conversation. And so you got an island that goes right here, and you're just gonna have the opportunity to feel like you're at home. That's the idea. Now, please forgive me for the plastic that's blowing in the background. These temporary windows that I put in, they do keep out the moisture, what do you call it? Perspiration? Precipitation. There we go. They do help, but the wind has been crazy this year. So this is called a side light, right? So you have a side light here, a side light here. These are going to be full windows, full glass, and then this is the glass sliding patio door. And out here you have a deck. And so whether you're coming and, say for instance, again, going back to the wedding concept, if you got, 30, 40 people in your wedding and you guys decide you want to take advantage of the pool that we're going to install, and you got people up here in this space partying, you got good music going, we want for folks to be able to go out on the deck and, all be a part of the same space. And so like I said, between my wife and John Police from Concept One, they really were intentional about designing this space so that people could be relational. So if you lasted this long into the video, it's been comprehensive. We've tried to show you guys the ins and outs, really tools, tips, tricks, things to think about when you're doing your design, things to watch out for, the long lead time, elements that could have a direct impact on your overall project schedule. If you like what you saw, please stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, because we're gonna continue to produce these videos to show you guys what it looks like to run your electrical system, your distribution system inside the building, what it looks like to do the plumbing. And I wanna make sure, if you're liking the content, that you are around when I go to knock the building down. And so what you see in front of you will be very different in the months to come. That bad boy's coming down, and yours truly, if it's the Lord's will, I'm gonna get a chance to knock it down. Stay tuned.